Hey tubers, welcome back for another adventure, or perhaps a misadventure. Many of you know I just bought this 1-ton excavator and I didn't have $6,000 floating around, so I popped it on my PayPal account and I figured I would pay a little bit every month, right? No big deal, send them a couple of bucks and all will be good. So I kind of bought this at the end of month number 1, and the finance charge came in at $65, or the minimum payment came in at $65, and I said, oh God, 65 bucks. Who can't afford 65 bucks a month? I'll be fine. I'll just take my time paying it off. Well, then bill number 2 came in. So this is bill number 2. I paid $1,000 off, and they said now make the minimum payment of $164 a month and get it into us by October 2nd. So I'm thinking that's a little more than I thought, but I'll pay it off quicker. No, not at all. If I make the minimum payment of $164 a month, it will take 18 years to pay off this machine, and instead of spending $6,000 on it, it's going to cost me $14,742 bucks. How's that for some meanness? So I looked at that and I said, well, obviously I got to kick up the pace a little bit. By the way, if you pay $212 a month, it'll take 3 years to pay it off, and it'll only be $1,600 worth of horrible interest. But let's take a look at this. These guys are like loan sharks. Look how much money they're charging me every month for financing. See the word interest charges there? And you see that amount? $110 36 cents a month. If you figure I owe them $5,300, if you're looking at 2% interest per month, which is 24% interest a year, which is right up there against the line with loan sharks, 2% interest a month would be $106 and a few extra pennies. Then you add the $1.99 for getting the paper bill, and you get, anyway, the $110 is approximately 2% interest per month. How's that for ugly? 24% interest from our friends at PayPal. Talk about swimming with loan sharks. I'm going to pay it off a little quicker. I'm probably going to pay off basically whatever I charge. And this month I charged a couple $100, $193, and I'll probably send them an extra $1,000. So I'll send them basically $1,200, and this will go down to basically go down to $4,100. But how's that for some mean interest charges? I normally do not finance things. If I can't afford to buy them outright, I don't buy them. I buy most of my cars and equipment and everything else used. The only thing I really ever financed were mortgages. And even with that, you know, you realize that when you pay off the 30-year mortgage, you paid twice to 3 times for your house what you could have bought it in cash. So once again, the trick is not to borrow crazy money like that. I happen to really need this machine. You guys could see the digging I'm doing. I'm working on drainage ditches, and I wanted to get that done. The problem is this drainage ditch has water running through it about 10 months of the year, so I couldn't be fooling around forever while I'm trying to save up money. And many of you realize also, as you're trying to save money, you might get to 1,000 or 2 or 3, and then there's some expense that wipes you out and you got to start all over again, and then once again 1,000 or 2 or 3, and then you get wiped out again. So I really wanted the machine, I really needed the machine, and boy am I paying for the machine. Hopefully I managed to get it paid off in less than a year, but even in that year, right, on the $6,000 expenditure, you figure it's going to start at 6 and work its way to 0. So on the average, I owed $3,000 on it. And if that's the case, on $3,000, 24% interest, right? That's, God. $3,000, 24% interest. That means this thing is going to actually cost me an extra $750. So instead of being a $6,000 machine, it's more like a $6,800 machine. So there you go. I don't know how much you guys borrow money. Obviously, it's better not to. Rental on this machine, if you rent it for a long weekend, like a Columbus Day weekend, which we have coming up shortly, the next bigger unit, or a couple of units up, actually the 8,000 pound, the 4-ton machine, it costs you about $1,500 between getting the machine hauled here, using it for the 3 days, putting fuel in it, paying the insurance, getting it hauled back. It'd be about $1,500. So there you go. All the digging I've done so far has taken me about 6 hours, and you realize as you're trying to dig dirt and roots and all the other horrible things, manual labor, 6 hours would have been nothing. I probably wouldn't have gotten 2 feet. There's another couple of videos I want to make on this machine. I really had a big surprise. Almost got thrown and hurt. So I'll talk about that whole mess with it, which is a bit of a surprise. The other surprises have been pleasant. The thing can really do a lot of work. So I do recommend buying it. I just don't recommend buying it on credit. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please remember, feet down, heads up, get out and enjoy each and every day, and try to stay away from loan sharks. Perhaps you have a revolving line of credit, or perhaps you could move a credit balance from a 24% credit card to a 5% credit card or a 3% credit card, but don't let it sit out there. Don't let those big balances sit out there. They will eat you alive. Bye now.